Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
And welcome into the Sunday Journal. I'm your host, Matt Pitta. Thanks for being with us here this weekend. We get together each week to talk about issues facing Cape Cod, the islands, and all of southeastern Massachusetts. And today on the Sunday Journal, I'm on the road again. You know we like to take the show out on the road when we can. And today we're over in East Falmouth at the Cape Cod Fairgrounds because coming up on Monday, it is the big opening of the Barnstable County Fair, the yearly event getting underway on July 20th and running through the 26th. And they have invited me over to come into studios and join us to come into your studio. I guess this is your studio, right, Wendy Brown?
Yes, exactly. The Fairgrounds now has a studio. We appreciate this. And looking forward, Matt has always been well, my dogs are here. You know this is an agricultural fair, so I'm going to have to, if you can let them out for me. Yeah, we're really excited about tomorrow. The weather's looking great for the week. We open up with some big shows and end with some big shows and everything in between. We are opening at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and we open at 4 o'clock Monday through Thursday, and we open at noon on Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And also with us is Craig Orsi. Craig has been involved with marketing and public relations here at the fair for how many years now, Craig? Quite a few now.
4 or 5 now.
Seems like 10.
Yeah.
So as I came over here and came into the parking lot, there's a lot of activity going on right now. So it's pretty kind of you're kind of in the last minute stages of getting everything ready, right?
Correct. And now is when they start setting up the midway and some of our vendors start arriving and our grounds acts get here and start to get acclimated to the grounds. So now they're in the final stages of getting everything set up. So they're just putting everything together, and it'll be ready to go Monday morning.
Let's talk a little bit about what this is all about, Wendy. And, of course, I like to talk a lot about the historical aspect of that. So let's go back in time and talk about the history of where we are. The fair has been in different locations around the Cape, et cetera. So let's have a history lesson.
Well, we were incorporated in 1844. The fair started over actually on 6A near the courthouse. It was there for years and years and years, and then it moved to Marston's Mills. Most of you probably know that as the old Fairgrounds golf course. And in the early 70s, this land was purchased in East Falmouth, and it moved here then. So we've been here for almost 45 years. The fair has, changed through the years with the additions of the midway and things like that. But the one thing that stays constant is the agricultural piece, which is dear to all the fairs that were incorporated back into the 1800s. It's steeped in tradition. We try to maintain a high level of agriculture in kind of an area where livestock is becoming less and less. But we have a dynamite horticultural program here. The Master Garden program is just fabulous. Matt, I'm sure you passed all those flowers out there. Just beautiful. But still, we continue year after year to have everything the kids want to see, the chickens, the ducks, the geese, the pigs, the sheep, and everything in between. So... and then we balance that with a very lively, very large midway. And in between that, Matt's favorite piece of the fair would be the food loop.
Right.
And the other food loop. And you can find Matt there usually most days. And I think your favorite thing is still the corn dog, or is it the sausage? I can't remember.
Look, I'll go with any of them. Trust me, it's great. We talked about this on the radio just the other day, and Kat, one of our personalities on one of our stations, and we talked about. I gave her the rundown of what I plan to be doing, and she kind of held her stomach after she said that. But it's a great part. It's a big, obviously a big fun part of the fair is to come in and check out all the great fair food. And last year, I remember we always try to do a feature. We always try to do a news feature on kind of a new food item. And I think last year's home run was, I think it was Porky's had the sundae that was actually barbecued pulled pork, and it was cornbread and barbecued pulled pork and coleslaw. And it's great to see what these food vendors come up with every year.
Yep, and it changes. I'm sure there's going to be some surprises out there. We have a new vendor this year. He's going to have frozen bananas dipped in chocolate and stuffed with peanut butter. So I'll let you know where he is, Matt.
And Matt, you'll be happy to know we have more food vendors this year than last year, and more even so than the year before that. So the food section of the fair continues to grow.
We're going to be here doing features every day, and we'll be looking for new things. So I'll be sending myself and other reporters around looking for these features. Historically, I know from covering this fair for a couple of decades now, is it considered one of the, I know that there were some years that it didn't run back, I guess, the early 1900s, I think, but is it considered one of the longest tenured fairs in the country? I believe. Is that correct?
It isn't the longest, and of course some fairs like to say they're the longest, but I just consider us in Eastern Mass, certainly on Cape Cod, 1844, an institution like this surviving that long is always an amazing thing, and of course in this day and age, trying to maintain that level and maintain 98 acres of land with all the expenses and whatever is very difficult. It's difficult for many businesses that have been around for a while, thus the name change to Cape Cod Fairgrounds. We have a very active event season now starting actually in April, and our last event this year is November 1, and we are booked all weekends in between, so it's very exciting. And I think the one thing that I did not mention was our scholarship fund, and it's one thing that usually people just don't realize, that we have been giving away $35,000 a year to local Cape Cod kids going on to higher education. Since 1974, it equates to well over $1 million worth that we have given away. We are a nonprofit. We're not funded by the state or the county or anybody. Basically, this fair is 90% of our revenue, and that's what enables us to do the good works that we do throughout the community and to give back to the children of Cape Cod.
Let's talk more about that. I've been at some of those ceremonies before. Are you doing that the night before the fair opens this year? How's that working this year?
We are actually doing it Thursday night, which is the country night. So I believe that you guys will be there, and that is the Thursday night of the fair, where we are going to be featuring Craig Wade Boyd, and then followed by Jason Michael Carroll, and then opening that up will be the presentation of the scholarship awards. So.
And I've met some of the kids that have received them before. They're all involved in, they have to be in some type of agricultural educational endeavor, right?
That is true. It's an agricultural award. However, what we did, because this goes back so far as we Wikipedia, basically home economics, which is part of it, and that, getting it into modern terminology opened up everything that's also very close to Cape Cod, including culinary, landscaping, golf turf management, and all of that. So it's really a broad scholarship now.
So this year, how many recipients, do you know yet how many recipients are getting scholarships this year? There
will be 17. And hopefully they'll all be here because we actually give the real check out. No, I'm just kidding. We don't.
We are on the road today with the Sunday Journal. We're at the Cape Cod Fairgrounds as we get ready for the Barnstable County Fair, which opens up on Monday and runs through the 26th, with Wendy Brown, the fair manager, and Craig Orsi. And what's your official title over here, Craig? Aside from you kind of keep Wendy in track under
the spokesperson. Yeah. The spokesperson.
We need a fancier title for Craig than the spokesperson.
Well, I have a lot of titles for Craig
that we can't talk about. We're on the road today with the Sunday Journal as we come to you from the Cape Cod Fairgrounds. Wendy, let me go back to that because you did make the name change a couple of years ago from the Barnstable County Fairgrounds to the Cape Cod Fairgrounds. So was that a marketing decision to try to let people know that it's not just about the Barnstable County Fair, but this is a fairgrounds for all of Cape Cod?
Exactly. That's exactly why we did it. And for those who don't know, the real name of this property is the Barnstable County Agricultural Society, and that's how it was incorporated in 1844. And we continue to do business as that. And the Cape Cod Fairgrounds, which is the event facility that we are in, hosts the Barnstable County Fair annually. And yes, it was definitely a marketing decision. Plus, it's also confusion when you have Barnstable County within your title. There was a lot of confusion out there that we were part of the state, part of the county, and our monies came from everywhere. But we are a private nonprofit that basically relies on the proceeds that we get through our event schedule yearly to pay our bills, give back to the community, employ people. We employed just alone during the fair 100 additional employees, part-time, a lot of them, some of them, their first jobs, 15, 16 years old. So I think we're a vital piece to the Cape, not just to Falmouth, although the town is wonderful to us in Falmouth. We are a Cape Cod entity.
And the name change has really allowed us to attract a lot of events that might have passed over the fairgrounds in previous years because they either thought it was too small or thought that it was just for the one county. And some people who come from off Cape may not understand Barnstable County covers the entire Cape. So in the years since we have made the name change, we've seen a huge growth in the event schedule. As Wendy said, there are events every weekend from May through November, and it continues to grow year over year. And we've got some great events that come in throughout the spring and the fall.
What else is coming up? I mean, we're obviously focusing today on the Barnstable County Fair, but we have some time to tell people what else is going to be taking place here on the fairgrounds between now and, as Craig said, through November.
Okay. Actually, the Saturday after the fair closes, and help us to get it turned around in time, we're having the second annual Real Cape concert, which is going to be huge. They have some big-name entertainment. I'm not quite sure, Guster, and a lot of different things at that event. We have an insane 5K inflatable race. That's an inaugural race, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. I think they're already booked, actually. We have, of course, as usual, the Cape Cod Dog Show. We have the Food Truck Festival in August also. And we have the big event of the fall, the Scallop Festival. Second time here.
And the Cape Cod Brew Fest.
And the Cape Cod Brew Fest, which is a 2-day event now. One day with 100 different samples, I think, and the next day with kind of a more 20 different samples in a 5K run. So there's nothing like running 5K and drinking some beer, so I'm sure Matt will be signed up.
I'll be right there for that. Bringing the Scallop Festival here, that was a big move for the Chamber over on the Upper Cape and such. Last year was their first year here. How did that go? You know, there were a lot of people that said, oh, geez, you've been in Buzzards Bay forever. How did that go? How did you make it successful, and how do you now keep that event moving forward?
You know, I think that last year was a great success from them, and of course you never can make anyone happy when you're in the event business and you move something that was steeped in tradition. I certainly sympathize, but they were outgrowing the space, and I think they went through the growing pains of all of a sudden going for that little tiny piece of land to having 98 acres. So you will see some changes this year, and I think they're very interesting, different new things that they're doing, different components to the Scallop Festival that I think is going to continue to grow. It's very exciting.
Let's go back to some of the entertainment for the fair. You have Team Extreme, the FMX Motocross, you have the Demo Derby, your singing competition, Craig Wayne Boyd, Jason Michael Carroll. Craig, when you guys are working on this throughout the year, how do you start to target who do you want? Do you come up with, here are 40 different people we might want to target? Do agents reach out to you guys? How does that whole talent thing work?
It's a mix, and Wendy can speak to some of this as well, but we generally start looking in the fall, and we do our research to try to figure out what our customers are listening to these days to try to put together a great main stage throughout the entire fair. So it always ends up being a mix. Country is huge, and country is growing like crazy, especially here on Cape Cod. So we've targeted growing that part of the fair in recent years. And also, it is Cape Cod. We can't get away from playing a lot of the oldies and, the rock and roll standards. So we have bands like Three Dog Night that are coming in this year that have been here before, but always draw well and fill the hill. So sometimes we do get reached out to by agents. A lot of times it's us working through our entertainment booker to figure out who's on tour, who we can route here, and who wants to come to Cape Cod to play our main stage.
I guess one of the either challenges or what you try to hope to is do you look for trends as to who's kind of up and coming? Because I know there have been many years where you probably book these people many, many months in advance, and in those ensuing months, that artist may just explode in terms of becoming just a major national talent, right?
Last year, obviously, we hit it very big with Dustin Lynch, but that's the way this fair has always been. Kenny Chesney has played here. When you kind of have to get them on their way up. You're exactly right. The unfortunate part now is becoming more and more difficult because country has grown so much throughout the United States, and the number of tours and all of the big guys are taking all the up-and-coming stars and touring with them, so it becomes very difficult to get them routed here. So we do the best we can and try to hit it early. So that we can get some really quality entertainment that people can say, wow, I remember when I saw him.
One of the things I've been reading about, I know that one of the guys on one of our stations is can't wait to meet them, the Lumberjills. What are the Lumberjills all about?
Exactly what you think. It's a lumberjack show, except that it is Lumberjills, and some of these ladies have been on ESPN. They're not for the meek, Matt. But I would like to see a little challenge in the log rolling pool. There will be a log rolling pool, yes. 4,000 gallons of water being filled up.
Currently filling right now.
I'd be interested in getting involved in that. Wristband days are always huge. Tell me about wristband days.
Last year we kind of messed with the wristband days again. So this year we have brought back the tradition of opening up Monday with wristband day. So that will start at 4. You can purchase that till 9 o'clock at night and ride the rides till close. And the same is for Thursday. You can purchase it between 4 and 9 and ride till close. And Friday, we open at noon. You can purchase your wristband between noon and 7 and ride till close. And then on Sunday, which we're trying to create kind of a family day with the music that we've brought in, and just because it is Sunday, you can purchase your wristband between noon and 4 p.m. and ride until close.
The Barnstable County Fair begins on July 20th. As you're listening to us, it begins on Monday. Now, ticket-wise, you can just show up. You can buy your tickets when you arrive here, right?
Mm-hmm. And just a lot of phone calls have been coming in about the main stage acts and a lot of interest in Three Dog Night. Once you purchase your ticket, the concert is included. So you're just paying your admission ticket at the gate, which you can purchase when you get here. And it is lawn seating. I just want to get that across. But you can bring a chair, bring a blanket, spread out, have fun, watch the show, ride the rides, eat the food.
I know another one of the groups, the Willis Clan. I can't think of their network off the top of my head, but they've got a TLC. They're on the TLC network, and I've seen some of it. And they seem just such an intriguing family on TV. So do you think they'll interact with the fans at all, or maybe just talk from the stage? I mean, they seem like that affable type of group that, they're going to be really personable.
Yeah, I've watched a little of their show, and they've been on the Today Show. They were in People magazine, I think, a couple of weeks ago. They did a cover on them, and they just seem too good to be true. They seem, our booking agent, Craig, and I know very well. He knows them very well, and he said they really are as they seem. So 12 kids, 2 parents, all on the stage, 4 o'clock and 7 o'clock on Sunday.
All incredibly talented musicians as well. It's really unbelievable.
You need a bigger trailer behind the main stage for them, right? In just the last moment or so that we have, I always like to usually do this. To each of you are here obviously quite a bit, planning and leading up to it, and then the actual days of the fair. But do you have a favorite moment that, if you have a downtime or a moment where it's just you have a few moments that you like to do here at the fair? What's your favorite fair moment? Craig, I'll start with you.
I'm with you, Matt. I like to go eat.
There you go. Wendy, do you have a favorite fair moment or activity, something that when you're not crazy running around trying to get things done, and I'm just going to go relax for 30 minutes, I'm going to go do what?
Well, 30 minutes I probably don't get, but if I really want to relax and I can find 5 minutes, I go hide in the Master Garden area. It's just tranquil. It's like you leave the fair and you walk into just a beautiful, quiet place, and that's where I go.
Sounds good. Well, we will see you here, folks, over the next couple of days. The Barnstable County Fair opens up on Monday, July 20th, and runs through the 26th, right here at Route 151 in East Falmouth. Stop by anytime starting on Monday, and it's barnstablecountyfair.org if people would like some more information, right?
Correct.
Thanks for letting me come by, and we'll see you here over the next several days. Craig and Wendy, thanks so much. Thanks for letting me come by today.
Thanks, Matt. We appreciate it.
And thanks for listening to us today on this segment of the Sunday Journal. I'm Matt Pitt.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.